Are you tired of wasting your precious weekend hours on movies that just don't deliver? Well, strap yourselves in, because today we're diving headfirst into the cinematic abyss to unearth the absolute worst Hollywood movies of 2024. I'm your host, Celeb Snoop. We've got explosions that fizzle, dialogue that will make your ears bleed, and acting so wooden, you'd swear they hired a lumberjack convention to fill the roles. You won't believe the cinematic abominations we've dug up. This is the worst Hollywood movies of 2024. Alright, we're kicking things off with Space Monkeys 4, Monkeying Around. The title pretty much says it all, doesn't it? This movie had a budget that could rival the GDP of a small nation, but somehow, they managed to make space look faker than a cardboard spaceship in a school play. And don't even get me started on the monkeys. Look, I love monkeys as much as the next guy, but these CGI primates were so unconvincing, I'm pretty sure I saw one of them checking its phone during a dramatic escape scene. Coming in at number 19, we have Attack of the Killer Avocados. Okay, I'll admit, the name piqued my interest. I mean, Killer Avocados? That's a concept that's just begging for some B-movie schlock. But instead of the tongue-in-cheek gore-fest I was hoping for, we got... The avocados looked like they were animated by someone's 5-year-old nephew using MS Paint. And the acting? Let's just say if I wanted to see that level of emotional range, I'd watch paint dry. Buckle up for number 18 because it's Fast and Furious 17 Geriatric Gearheads. I mean, how many times can you jump a car over a volcano before it gets old? Apparently the answer is at least 17 times, but by this point, even Vin Diesel's muscles looked tired. The plot was thinner than a sheet of paper, the action sequences were repetitive and predictable, and the whole thing felt like a desperate cash grab. The only thing fast and furious about this movie was how quickly I wanted to fast forward through it. At number 17 we have The Unbearable Silence of the Mimes. Now I'm all for a good silent film, but this was just painful. The story followed a group of mimes who, get this, had to solve a mystery using only their mime skills. The whole movie was just awkward silence, exaggerated movements, and me wondering why I didn't just rewatch The Artist instead. Hold on to your hats, folks, because number 16 is 50 Shades of Beige, a romantic comedy that's about as exciting as watching beige paint dry. The chemistry between the two leads was about as electric as a damp sponge. The jokes fell flatter than a pancake that's been run over by a steamroller. The whole thing felt like it was designed to lull you into a coma. Oh no, they did it again! Coming in at number 15, it's the Emoji Movie 2, Electric Boogaloo. I'm honestly surprised they managed to scrape together enough plot for a sequel, considering the first one felt like an hour and a half of my life I'll never get back. This time the emojis are back and, well, they're still emojis. They're still stuck in a phone, they're still making bad puns, and they're still somehow less expressive than the actual emojis on my keyboard. Okay, this one might sound interesting on paper. Number 14 is The Rise of the Sentient Toaster. I mean, who doesn't love a good robot uprising story? But instead of a chilling exploration of artificial intelligence gone wrong, we got a toaster that makes puns. And not even good puns. The special effects were about as convincing as a puppet show at a children's birthday party. They finally did it. They finally managed to suck all the joy and wonder out of the Jurassic Park franchise. Number 13 is Jurassic Park Extinction Event, a movie that's about as thrilling as watching a documentary about grass growing. Gone are the days of awe-inspiring dinosaurs and edge-of-your-seat suspense. Instead, we got a bunch of CGI dinosaurs that looked like they were borrowed from a low-budget video game. A plot that was more convoluted than a plate of spaghetti, and characters so bland they made cardboard look flavorful. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse than Fast and Furious 17, they hit us with this gem. Number 12 is The Fast and the Furriest, a shameless ripoff that replaces cars with talking animals. Because nothing says high-octane action like a chihuahua driving a monster truck, right? Wrong. The animation was atrocious, the jokes were painful, and the whole thing felt like a fever dream you just can't shake. Some things are just sacred, and Singin' in the Rain is one of them. So naturally, Hollywood decided to tarnish its legacy with Singin' in the Rain 2, The Flood, coming in at number 11. This time, instead of charming musical numbers and Gene Kelly's infectious energy, we got, well, a flood. The singing was mediocre, the dancing was uninspired, and the whole thing felt like a soggy, depressing mess. Beam me up, Scotty, because this movie is a train wreck. Coming in at number 10 is Star Trek: The Search for More Money, a blatant attempt to milk the franchise for all it's worth. Gone are the days of thoughtful exploration and philosophical dilemmas. This time it's all about lens flares, explosions, and a plot so paper thin you could see right through it. This is just wrong on so many levels. Number 9 is The Silence of the Lambs Vegetarian Edition, a movie that proves Hollywood has officially run out of ideas. Instead of the chilling psychological thriller that kept us on the edge of our seats, we got, well, Hannibal Lecter making tofu burgers. And let me tell you, nothing ruins the suspense of a cannibalistic serial killer quite like seeing him whip up a veggie patty. Okay, I'm starting to think Hollywood just really loves that Electric Boogaloo subtitle. Number 8 is The Shawshank Redemption 2, Electric Boogaloo, again? A movie that proves some stories are best left untouched. Remember the emotional depth, the powerful performances, the message of hope? Yeah, well, forget about all that. This time it's all about, the plot was so forgettable, the characters so bland, and the whole thing so utterly unnecessary, it just faded from my memory like a bad dream. Get your tissues ready, folks, because this one's a real tearjerker. And by tearjerker, I mean it will make you cry tears of sadness and regret for wasting your time. Number 7 is The Notebook 2, Senior Year, a movie that takes everything we loved about the original and throws it out the window faster than you can say dementia. Instead of a heart-wrenching love story, we got a bunch of senior citizens forgetting why they're in the same room together. And honestly, I think I blacked out halfway through, so I can't even tell you how it ends. They've officially scraped the bottom of the barrel with this one. Number 6 is Transformers: Rise of the Vacuum Cleaners, a movie that's about as exciting as spring cleaning. Instead of giant robots battling it out for the fate of humanity, we got, well, vacuum cleaners with googly eyes. And let me tell you, watching a Roomba try to fight Megatron is about as thrilling as it sounds. Not even Middle-earth is safe from Hollywood's insatiable need to reboot everything. Number 5 is The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Fanny Packs, a movie that takes everything epic and majestic about the original trilogy and replaces it with, well, fanny packs. That's right, instead of swords and sorcery, we got a bunch of hobbits running around with fanny packs, arguing about who has the best snacks. I'm pretty sure Marlon Brando is spinning in his grave right now. Number 4 is The Godfather Part 4, The Geriatric Don, a movie that proves some things are better left buried. Instead of the gripping crime drama that defined a generation, we got, well, a bunch of old guys arguing over who gets to sit in the comfiest chair. The acting was about as lively as a retirement home talent show. The plot was thinner than Al Pacino's hair. Well, this is just awkward. Number 3 is Citizen Karen, a movie that tries to be a satirical commentary on entitlement and social media outrage, but instead just ends up being as annoying as the people it's trying to parody. The main character Karen is so over the top and caricature-ish, it's impossible to take her seriously even for a second. Remember those cute talking animal movies from your childhood? Yeah, well, forget about them. Number 2 is Cats and Dogs 3, Pawlitical Warfare, a movie that's about as subtle as a brick to the face. Instead of heartwarming adventures and slapstick humor, we got, well, cats and dogs arguing about politics, and not even in a clever satirical way, it's just bad. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for. The absolute worst movie of 2024 is Influencer Apocalypse. This movie is everything that's wrong with society crammed into a 90-minute cinematic abomination. The plot revolves around a group of vapid influencers who suddenly have to fend for themselves when the internet goes down. And let me tell you, it's about as believable as a unicorn riding a skateboard. The acting is atrocious, the dialogue is cringeworthy, and the whole thing feels like a bad acid trip. Well, there you have it, folks. The 20 absolute worst movies Hollywood decided to unleash upon the world in 2024. If you managed to make it through this entire list without gouging your eyes out, I applaud you. You're a braver soul than I. If you enjoyed this list, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you in the next video.